Welcome back. Part 3, connecting the keyboard to the system. Nothing fancy about this. This is just a normal Yamaha PSR 275. Any MIDI keyboard with MIDI out will do for what we're doing here. So right now the system does not know that the keyboard exists yet. We have to tell it. And as you can see, I'm not playing any voices through the system. It's just coming out of the keyboard. So we'll turn the volume down. Now we are introducing a new piece of hardware here, and that's our MIDI interface for the computer. We happen to be using a USB MIDI Sport 2x2. There's a link to that site on my website under virtual organs, I believe. Simply we're using MIDI cable out from the keyboard into that interface, and that allows the operating system, as I spoke about in part 1, to recognize external MIDI devices. So let's go ahead and get started. It should only take a minute to get this activated, and you can start playing your model of your choice. And let's get started. Now we're back again with the same instrument, and canceling the stops we had on earlier. Now at any time, if you want to close anything that's down here, right click on your mouse and choose close. Now we'll put the board back on, and we still have our jOrgan keyboard running. We want to change that now, so go into Customize. Now under Device, if we drop down the box, it brings up all of the MIDI devices that this system knows about. We want to concentrate on the port that we're actually physically plugged into, which is in A on the USB MIDI Sport 2x2. Now, keyboards transmit on different channels. For a run-of-the-mill keyboard such as this, your best bet, safest channel 1 or 16, but we don't even need to know that. Because jOrgan has this really nice record feature. If you press this once, it's asking us to initiate anything that it wants us to know about. So let's press OK. Press low C once on your keyboard and top C once. I'm sorry, we'll do that again. Low C once, top C once. Now click OK. It's automatically discovered that we're on channel 1 and we want to play from low C, which is key number 36 in the scale, to 96. Now, even though it had these settings before, we can actually test that this is working. We'll simply take out these designators and make this an arbitrary channel 8 or something. Now let's rediscover the keyboard. Low C once, high C once. Okay. It went back to channel 1 and found low C as note 36 up to high C 96. Now, because we don't have anything else to discover, we're finished. Now this keyboard no longer works. Instead, we're over here now. And that's really all there is to it. So go ahead back to the site, download some more models. And now the same is true for a model with more than one keyboard, except in this screen under Customize, you'll see an entry like this for each and every manual or pedal board. Basically division is what we call them. So let's not get into that at the moment. let's give you time to play around. Now that we're done with the keyboard, we can also right click here and close. If you at any time want to go to full screen mode, just press F11. My keyboard's wireless and there's so much going on in here it didn't take. And here we are in full screen. At any time to exit that, right click and close, and it brings you back to the program. So now that we've successfully hooked up our keyboard, we're going to go into part 4 probably next week, and we're going to introduce what we call a controller. Now this keyboard does not produce any sounds. It's strictly what we call a MIDI controller. It comes with a bunch of sliders, buttons, rotary controls, all can be assigned, and this is more likely what someone who's serious about using this software to practice on might start out with. And the reason being, you can use the sliders to control swell shoes, crescendo, the buttons for pistons, and even for the recorder, this particular model has transport buttons which can be assigned. So you can almost run what we call headless, not needing a monitor. Once everything's all set up, you don't even need a monitor to display the software or a keyboard or a mouse. But more on that later. So join us for the next episode, and we'll get this up and running and show you how to assign some of the things that I was speaking about in episode 2 and this episode regarding stop controls and that kind of thing, and we're going to migrate to a different organ model with 2 manuals and pedal. Not that we have a pedal board at the moment, but we'll get there eventually. Thank you.